This Wednesday, the 6th, Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by the SGPN Free Roll Football Contest. Join our free season-long pick-in with up to $3,000 in prizes and a Super Bowl autographed SGP helmet up for grabs. The sign-up link is in the SGPN app. We're brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use the promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app. Use the promo code SGPN. We're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college or NFL. Win up to 20x in one game. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. And we're brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now. Use the code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any NFL game. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code SGP. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, September the 5th, and we have a full slate of games. However, they're not all on the board for various reasons. For Wednesday, September the 6th, but we will endeavour to do our best and make some winning picks. First up, we've got Mr. Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Good to be with you, boys. Little hot wave over here on the East Coast. It's around 90 degrees over here, but not as hot. You think I forgot?
Oh,
come on, baby. Forest plus 700, biggest win I've ever seen at the club, man. I just got to give it up to the boys.
Biggest win of Dylan's 6 weeks of fandom that he's invested in the club. That's a $1 fine for football talk, mate. Get your money in the tin. Joining us, Lonte Smith. Lonte, how are you?
Not bad, man. We don't get a day off, do we, man? We've been grinding since Sunday. We've been on the show.
No day off here, mate. No holidays. It might have been nice outside. We wouldn't know. Me and Lonte wouldn't know. We've been in the lab. And I'll tell you what, Lonte, the results were okay. Came out of the lab yesterday. I think I finished 8-3. So we talked ourselves into a little heater. And as yet, we haven't had time for it to go wrong because there's been no day sport today. So that's good. Dylan, you threw me off by making those slides come up again. That's what I was laughing at you in the
I gotta keep you on your toes, kid.
It just surprised me again, but I will get used to it. We got some new names in the chat tonight. Gooey Shoes, which is a great name, as well as a new one.
Comment back now?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
It's fixed. So yeah, we can get back to making flippant and unhelpful remarks. Gooey Shoes is here. Aces and Eights is here as well, making his debut live, which is good. Randy came in to say hello and is gone, which is it's like a kid just getting his mark in class registration, and then he's jumped ship for the day. Captain Sano as well. How are you doing? So yeah, and if you've got anything you want to tell us in the chat, by all means, get involved, fill your boots. So I said at the top, we've got 15 games, but there's loads off the board. I've got 4 off the board, actually. It's not as bad as it was even 5 minutes ago. There's a lot of pitching shenanigans. We've had a really good run of early lines and settled pitches. For about 10 days, we feel like everything's been in place for us to handicap, but not today. Still leaves us 10 or 11 games, and we'll have leans, etc. on the other stuff as well. So we will start tomorrow, Wednesday, with... There is lots of day sport for me tomorrow. And we start 12:35, nice and early. We have the Milwaukee Brewers at the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is one of the games that's off the board, unfortunately. It's Freddie Peralta confirmed for Milwaukee. But Pittsburgh at TBD, I think it's Mitch Keller. But I've got no odds for that at all as it stands. 2 near identical records for these 2 pitchers, peculiarly enough. 11-8, both of them. Peralta 385, Keller 393. So that's a hard place to start if you're looking for an obvious discrepancy in ERAs or records, what have you. Freddie Peralta has been outstanding recently. 4-0 record with a 150 ERA in his last 5. He's pitched 30 innings, given up 13 hits, 5 earned runs, and struck out 49 in that stretch. and that's home and away now. We know Trev he'll often pop in the chat and talk about home Peralta versus road Peralta. Well, he's levelled out everywhere, so we're quite happy with that. However, Mitch Keller has been really good as well. He's given up 4 earned runs in his last 4 starts, 20 innings pitched in those. Plenty of strikeouts as well to like for Keller. Obviously, we don't have a total, so I'm just giving out a kind of read. It's 2 good starting pitchers against 2 offenses that really don't often need a lot of encouragement to not score many runs. They're quite happy to sit around 3 or 4 each. That's their thing. At that, if you see a total of 8.5, I would smash it. 8.5 would be a dream. I don't know if it'll get that high. But yeah, we'll find out. But I would be going towards it under 8.5 if we can find it. I'll take an 8 if I feel a little bit braver, Lonte.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100%. I like both pitchers. I don't think it's much of a difference here. Keller, 4 straight quality starts, 1.38 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, 33 Ks over 26 innings pitched in that 4-game span. Hasn't allowed over 3 runs in his last 5 starts. Milwaukee did have a good game against him, like August 3rd. They scored 8 runs on 9 hits against him, so that's something to look out for. But again, I think both pitchers are in really good form. You mentioned Peralta's number. He's had 10 plus Ks in 4 of his last 7, so might want to look at some K props for him. He hasn't allowed over 2 runs in his last 5 starts. Pitched against pretty solid offenses as well. I think Texas, Boston was mixed in. Peralta 5 1/3, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits in his last start versus Pittsburgh. So, I mean, first 5 under, I can see a 1-0, 1-1 type of game in the first 5. 7.5 is what I'm guessing it will come at. Mal, if we get anything above 7, if we get anything above 7.5 with these 2 pitchers, I'm willing to go under that pretty heavy. So I like the under. I'll also be looking at both pitchers' K props, especially Keller, if it is indeed him.
Yeah, I was probably being a bit hopeful, a bit ambitious, seeing if I can get an 8.5. You might be right, Dylan.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the under as well. If it is Keller going, I set my line at 7.7. So it'd be an ideal to get an 8.5. I think it will open up an 8. Got winds blowing in as well. That should help us. And Lonte, you were saying on August 3rd, he versed them. He also versed the Brewers in middle of June 17th, and he lost 5-0 as well. So might want to look. I did favor the Brewers up to a -135. So hopefully, since the Brewers are struggling a little bit, hopefully we could get a good price on Freddie Peralta. But anything under a 135 or under than that, I'll take the Brewers. And then I do lean under with you guys.
Okay, next up is a 1:10 Eastern first pitch. It's the Minnesota Twins at the Cleveland Guardians. I felt like we've handicapped this game for about 4 weeks solid now. It's all we talk about, Lonte. Right. This time, it's Joe Ryan for Minnesota and Gavin Williams for Cleveland. -116 on the Twins, +105 for the Guardians. Now, this is the thing that changes it. I've seen totals of 8 on FanDuel and 9.5 on DraftKings. And I was interested in a total here, so I'll talk you through that when I get to it. Never, ever seen that discrepancy at all. Maybe half a run occasionally, but a run and a half spread, maybe you could shed some light on that. But Lonte, what do you make of this game?
Yeah, 8, 9.5, it don't matter. I think we're going under here. Gavin Williams is returning from some extra rest. He left his last start, I think it was August 29th. He had some knee soreness, but all reports saying that he's good to go. He was beat up by the Dodgers. Outside of that, though, he's been going pretty well. Hasn't allowed over 3 runs in his previous 8 starts. I mean, Ryan, he has been a bit erratic, allowed 4+ runs in 3 of his last 5 starts, 10 home runs allowed in that 5-game span. So, I mean, the thing that he has going for him is that Cleveland is not Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland is 30th in home runs. So, he's got a little gateway there, but I'm going to go with the home dog here. I think the total might be inflated due to that 20-run outing that we had last night. I think that's an outlier. Of course, it's an outlier, but I don't think that either team's bats will be able to get it going. I like Gavin. I don't like Ryan, which is why I'm leaning to Cleveland here at home. So I like the home dog. I like the under.
Okie doke. Dylan?
Yeah, you're right. It opened up an 8. It's up to 9.5 right now. I grabbed an 8. It was a little chalky at -120, but my total came out to an 8.8. So at a 9.5, I would lean under. I think that's a little overreaction, but if you could still find an 8.5, I would take the over. Minnesota is not necessarily an over team, but recently they have been. Not even just the 20 runs they put up last night. They scored 9 against the Rangers. They took 2 or 3 from them. And I'm just not really a Gavin Williams fan, to be honest, especially at home. I think he is susceptible to give up some runs. Twins are swinging a hot bat right now. You got winds blowing out as well. So depending on the number, if you can still find 8.5, I lean over. But if it's at 9.5 now, I would lean under.
D-Rock, you're going to be disappointed when this ends 4-3. Let them know, Mal. 4-3.
Well, Lonte.
Oh, no, Mal. Don't do it to me.
Colour me shocked. Listen, and it's not just because I feel like I've given out the 4-3, like I say, for 100 consecutive days on these two teams. But I've handicapped it in like the over. And then I saw the lines, and that's what really struck me about the lines. So I don't know if there's an 8 still exists. But Ryan's last 2 have been really good, but he was struggling before that. He's got a 4.68 ERA. And as much as I've liked Gavin Williams, he just maybe looks like he's dropping off a little bit. His levels are dropping. Maybe the big leagues are adjusting to him. There's been some warm weather around. This team scoring more runs at the moment. And I thought we could definitely get over the 8. If that has, I think the fact that the line movement kind of says my instinct was correct as well. If it's already up to 9.5. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Sharps moved the lines, and there's a reason it went from 8 to 9.5.
Yeah, it's still some 8s too. You can get Bet 365, Caesars, Bet Online, PointsBet.
But you're gonna pay the chalk, right?
120 is the max I see.
Okay, that's not that bad.
120 is not bad, but yeah, FanDuel it has the only 9.5, and you're paying 122 to go under, plus 100 on the over.
Yeah, no.
Did you say that's 365? Because that's where I've got most of my money at the minute. So yeah.
365 over 8 minus $1.20.
Oh, I'm all right with that. Yeah, getting the vibe. Love it. I had something vast importance to say about 10 seconds ago, and I completely and utterly forgot. So what I'll do, I'll tell you about a couple of our sponsors here on the MLB Gambling Podcast. DraftKings, this is exciting. 7 months without NFL is going to come to an end in, there's a Thursday night game, isn't there? So about 28 hours from now. That's exciting. So DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. We've got a card miss offer for week 1. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings hooking everyone up with game day greatness. There'll be 2 new offers every single game day this September. So check the app to see what's on offer. If you download the app now, use the code SGP to sign up. New customers take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SGP only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. And I'll tell you about Game Time, the place to go now. To get your tickets for anything, sports, music, comedy, theatre near you. I know Sean from the Mothership was talking about getting his Eagles tickets. I think they're playing the Rams possibly in his hometown. So he'd be looking to pick tickets up for him and his dad and everybody. Game Time make that an easy thing to do. Not stressful at all. You can get killer deals on last minute tickets. The lowest price guarantee is fantastic. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if you find tickets in the same section in the same row for less. The tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you don't have to dig through your emails when you're trying to get into the venue. So loads of good stuff. If you download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Josh has joined us. Josh, hello, how are you doing? Right then, I don't know what's happening now. I've lost my page, boys, for the scores. I know, yeah, I've got today's scores. What day are we handicapping? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah, we're on the Cubs and Giants game.
We are. That's 2:20 Eastern first pitch. I remember that.
Attaboy.
I remember that out of my mind. Yeah. TBD, the San Francisco Giants. Slated possibly to be, is his name Tristan Beck? I know it's Beck.
Yeah, Tristan Beck.
Yeah, and we have lefty Jordan Wicks going for the Cubs. We do have some lines here. The Giants are plus 105 and the Cubs are minus 125. We have no total as per usual. Dylan, Giants and the Cubs.
Real quick, I want to ask you guys, did you guys bet on our boy Justin Steele the other day?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
130 was too disrespectful.
We said that too. Me and Mal both said that. Yeah,
we smashed into him.
Yeah.
But for this game, I'm gonna take the Cubs again on the money line. I feel like the past 2 weeks I've been just blindly betting them, and I think if the books continue to give these short numbers with them, I think we have to take them. I made the Cubs a minus 135 favorite. I'm also having a hard time backing the Giants. They kind of fell off in the month of August. Last week they were barely in the playoff contention. Today they're out of the playoffs. They have a negative 10 run differential. They've lost 4 in a row, and at this point, I feel like Scott said it last week. They're just throwing bodies up there on the mound to pitch. I don't really trust Tristan Beck as a spot starter. I mean, from the innings that he's allowed to pitch, it gives 2 to 3 runs up. His hard hit rate is up there in the high 40s. I can't back him or the Giants right now. At least Jordan Wicks, I was hesitant to take him last week, but he's won both games. He's solid. He goes 5 innings in both of those starts. So I feel like the Cubs are just a better team. I'm not going to overthink this one. Minus 125, I'll take the Cubs all day.
I love that. Clean handicap, Dylan. Lonte?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean with the Cubs here. Also, I can't trust San Francisco, and 1, I can't trust them, and 2, I just can't get them right for whatever reason. Wicks ERA is under 2 runs allowed on 7 hits and 10 innings pitched. So I think he's been fine. Small sample size, of course, but I don't think he has anything to worry about with this lineup. So I'll make it short and sweet. Maybe Beck is transitioning from bullpen if it is indeed him. He has only went over 5 innings twice in 29 appearances this year. So he's not going to go a lot of length. I think the Cubs bats are like white hot. So I would look for their team total to go over. I think the price is too short. I'm with you, D-Rock. I like the Cubs.
Why haven't the Giants got any pitchers? Like, why have they got the same two? Where's they all gone?
No idea.
It's not even like
it's
they
just
just got
Cobb and Wood.
4.
It's just Cobb and Wood. Alex Cobb.
Yeah, and then
Wood.
3 gaps, Cobb, 3. Like, it's not as as if they've got 4 and the 5th day is a bit of a lot. They've got 2 and they have to make this shit up the rest of the time. It's always the same. And honestly, I'm bored of it. Like, it's so we said about Tristan Beck. We watched him pitch at the back end of that Justin Steele game on Monday. Anyway, so Tristan Beck was in that game, just threw a couple of innings out. He'll be back again. Yeah, and we've seen it before. Back in April and May, the Giants did okay with this bullpen day thing. But yeah, not anymore. Jordan Wicks, I watched last week. He got in trouble early on, got himself out of it, and then settled in. And he does look like he's got a bit of dog in him. He had a good attitude up on the bump. Short start, that's the key. Yeah, I'm going to take the Cubs. They do seem to be enjoying this homestand. There was a good energy coming out with the Cubs. But I'm going to take them on the first 5 here, just because that's pretty much all you're going to get out of Wicks. So I'll shorten it down. I'll take the Cubbies on the first 5. 3:37 Eastern first pitch. The Toronto Blue Jays at the Oakland Athletics. We have Hyun Jin Ryu for Toronto. We have JP Sears for Oakland. 2 lefties going here. It's minus 170. The Toronto Blue Jays plus 152 Oakland and a total of 8.5. Hyun Jin Ryu 3-1 on the year, 2.48 ERA. He's been really good lately. Consistent, relatively short again. 5 innings pitched. Sort of his last 2 starts, he's given up 4 hits and 2 earned runs. And all on homers. That's what's been getting him into trouble. But without many ducks on the pond, that's not going to kill you. And the Blue Jays have won his last 5 starts too. JP Sears is 3-10 on the year with a 4.60 ERA. Now, I do like him. I've fought his corner a couple of times, but he's just not showing it at the minute. He had a good start against the Angels, but that doesn't count. And the previous 4, he's lost on the spread. So it is not. I've got against my entire system. I'm not taking the Minnesota Cleveland under, and I'm not taking Oakland first 5. It's a Blue Jays first 5 run line. I think the Blue Jays can get ahead here. nothing off Ryu, 3 or 4 off Sears. Toronto Blue Jays first 5 run line, Dylan, please.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just gonna take him on the full game run line. If I'm seeing plus money, I'm seeing plus 105s out there on DK. So yeah, I'll happily take that. I'm not a fan of JP Sears, especially at home. Like you said, great start against the Angels, but I mean, I don't know how much we could take out of that when they're not even trying anymore. But Sears, he did look bad in the month of August. His last 6 starts have all come by 2 or more runs. I just think this is a good spot for the Blue Jays. Ryu has looked really good since coming back. So they're just a better team. I'll take the plus money on the run line.
Okie doke, Lonte.
I added some Blue Jays futures, boys. They're a game and a half.
Really?
They're a game and a half back. I got some more. I got some more Blue Jays futures, man. I mean, of course they're beating up against these bad teams, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're doing what they're supposed to do. You got to beat the bad teams. You got to, come up with, one or 2 wins against some good teams in the series. But I mean, once they get in, they're going to be dangerous. I mean, you got Gosman at the top of the lineup pitching. I think he's good for. I'll put him up against anybody in the league. So their bats are going to be there at the top of the lineup, especially with Bichette, Guerrero. I mean, if they get in, they got a shot to me. Now they're not the most consistent bunch, but I mean, at long odds, I mean, I think it's fine. But in this game, I like Ryu. Like I'll add on to what you guys said. I mean, he's been outstanding since the return. Has not allowed over 2 runs in 5 of his last 6 starts. If you can find a total outs and it's like around 15 and a half, 16, I go under. He's pitched exactly 5 innings in 4 straight games. So I don't know if they're kind of like, saving him for, more high leverage situations or what the case may be, but that's something to look at. Like he's pitched exactly 5 innings every single game for 4 straight games. That can't be a coincidence. It's got to be something. Maybe, his pitch count is getting a little bit too high or what, but short and sweet, man. I like Toronto run line first 5 team total to go over also.
Lonte, do you think if they get into the playoffs, do you think their bats are going to be more dangerous than like Houston or Texas?
I'll put them against. I can't bet against Houston, man. I really can't. It's hard. But outside of Verlander, I mean, I don't trust anybody on that rotation, though.
I agree.
To be honest, because Valdez is. I mean, he had. If you look at his splits, like the first, he had the no hitter, and then they blew it when they took him out, and then he had the first no hitter. In between those, he's been giving it up. I know we'll get to him later on, but like he's been
Christian Javier.
Right, 4 runs, 5 runs, and he's getting hit. It should be like a little bit north of that, like 6, 7 runs, but the defense behind him is just so good. They're saving him. I mean, look, if at the top of their lineup, I mean, it's just as good as anybody in baseball. I mean, you go Bichette, Guerrero, who else is at the top of that damn lineup? I can't remember the exact one, but I know,
Springer. Whitfield.
Right. I mean, like, so, I mean, it's just a long shot. I don't trust them to be as consistent, but if they get in a high leverage situation and you throw Gosman and if you get Ryu back to somewhat form, I mean, he's pitching good against solid quality offenses. So I think they got a shot, man. Now, I wouldn't trust them against Houston, but Texas, I definitely would.
Yeah, because their bullpen is awful.
Right. Horrible.
Catholic boy, we're getting roasted in the chat.
The chat's gone absolutely off. Like, it's so far gone now. We can't bring that back. We just have to forget about it. Open a new chat because that one's gone over the hill and far away. We're never seeing that chat again. Yeah, it's gone berserk. Where are we? 3:40 Eastern first pitch. The Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Chris Flexen for Colorado and Zach Davies for Arizona. Where are these lines? Plus 180 Colorado, minus 200 for the D-backs. Total is 9.5, Lonte.
I got to catch up. I was catching up.
Don't do it, mate. We don't want to lose you as well. The aliens will come back.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't have much on this game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Colorado, Arizona, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't have much. Flexing 4+ runs in 3 of his last 5. One of those games were against Arizona where he allowed 4 runs. He's given up the deep ball, 2+ home runs in 4 of his last 7 games. ERA is sky high. I think it's close to 8, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe like right in between 7.5 and 8, maybe like 7.7. I don't like Davies either. He's been inconsistent his last few starts. He's been inconsistent, but his last few starts, he's been fine. Against this offense, I think he'll have somewhat of a decent time. He allowed 3 runs on the June 1st meeting in 5 2/3, so I think he'll be fine here. I don't trust the Arizona bullpen. I would lean to Arizona first 5. Don't want to trust. I think Flexen will give it up here in the first 5. So give me Arizona first 5. I will lean to the over also. I don't know if I can trust Colorado's offense to get anything going. But again, you're going against, bad versus bad with the bullpen of Arizona and then the bats of Colorado. So, bad on bad, something's good got to happen. So I'll go with the over.
Okay, Dylan.
Yeah, I agree on the over. I was able to grab a 9 earlier in the day, but even at a 9.5 right now, I still like the over. My total came out to a 10.3. So it's honestly a fade of both of these pitches. Flexen, he's not good on the road. Davies, he's just not good in general, I don't feel like. But some of these scores, Flexen has been on the road 9-4, 7-6. His last game, 13-9. He's good for a solid 4 or 5 runs in each of his start. And it's not just those road splits. Whenever these two teams face off, it's just high scoring. 8 of the 11 games have gone over the total. So I think we see another shootout. I'll take the over.
I've got this series nailed this week. We did Merrill Kelly the other night. I think we gave out Arizona were going to win 4-1. We took Arizona on the run line, and the under actually finished 4-2. So for tonight, Tuesday's game, we've got 6-3 Arizona. So Arizona on the run line, and this is similar. Arizona on the run line again. Flexen's going to give up minimum 3, probably a few more. Davies, I'm going to give him a little chance because he's actually pitched really well in his last 2 starts. And now I know he's generally not been great, but he doesn't have to be. And like Dylan just said, even if he gives up a few, this could easily finish 8-5 or something like that. I do think Arizona will be at least 2 runs better than them. So yeah, Arizona on the run line. 4:10 Eastern first pitch. The Philadelphia Phillies at the San Diego Padres. Zach Wheeler for Philly and Michael Wacha going for San Diego. -122 the Phillies, +102 the Padres. Total is 8 for Dylan.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Phillies here on the money line, -130. I had a favorite up to a -135. I just feel like the Phillies are a better team right now. They took the first game of the series yesterday. They're just playing better baseball in general. 7-3 in their last 10, while Padres 4-6 in their last 10. Juan Soto has picked it up though. He hit 5 home runs in 5 straight games, something like that over this past week. So he's
7-7, yeah.
Wow, 7-7. So even better. He's the one that's picked it up. But outside of that, I just don't trust the offense to be matched up with Phillies. They still have a top 5 lineup, I think, in the MLB. And I just think Wheeler bounces back after that tough loss against the Brewers. Wheeler, he already has a win against his Padres back in the middle of July. And I'll admit, Michael Wacha has looked good at home since coming back, but he hasn't faced a lineup as good as the Phillies are, in my opinion. So I think we'll see some regression out of him, and I think this is a fair price for the Phillies. So anything under a -135, I'll be on them.
Okay, I'll go next. I think Lonte is on the phone. We've got something to share with the class, Lonte. What's so funny? He's having a laugh about something. Philly, for me, it's the same pick, Dylan, because I just think they're the better team.
Yeah.
Wheeler will go 6 or 7 strong. Wacha will do the same, but a little bit shorter. The Padres, they still haven't had. We talked the other day, they won 3 games, consecutive games, for the first time since June the 8th. They still haven't had a 4-game winning streak this season. Now, I'm sure even like Oakland and all the dog shit teams have done that. That's quite remarkable. But yeah, fairly similar level of pitches, but I like Wheeler a little bit better. And I just think Philly are playing better baseball. -122 was good. Lonte.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with San Diego here, man. I think I'm gonna go with San Diego. I think Walker's been really good since he's returned. He's only allowed over 2 runs once in his last 4 starts, and if you expand that, to before I think he missed the whole July, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was June. One of those months he missed. But if you expand throughout the the last 14 games, let's just go. He's got 6 shutouts in that span in the last 14 starts, and he has allowed under 3 runs in 13 of those. So he's been pitching really well. Philly's offense I do respect, and I think he'll have to work for it. I do like both pitchers. I'm not as high on Wheeler as a lot of other people. I mean, he's had back-to-back 10K starts, so he's only allowed 3 runs or fewer in 9 of his last 10 starts. I think we get a first 5 under here also with both of these pitchers going well. So I like the first 5 to go under and give me the Padres.
Okay.
Don't look now.
Roll.
Padres only like 5.5 games back, man. Don't look now.
Oh no,
They're as bad as the Blue Jays.
They're
If you bumped
6.5
Joe Head
out.
today.
Oh, they lost yesterday. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing.
Hey man, they gotta look at that schedule, D-Rock, and look at the people that they're playing in front of him, in front of them. Look, I'll list them off for you.
Please,
just hear me out. Because I sent this to, well, not send it.
Did you put a future in for them?
Yeah, I got one in.
Oh my God!
Listen to me though, D-Rock. Listen, it's 4 teams in front of them, right? It's 4 teams in front of them. Miami's got a series with the Dodgers. They're probably gonna get swept.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco's playing the Cubs, and this was before they got beat yesterday. So, that they'll pick up a couple games there. Cincinnati's got the Mariners. They got a rookie going today. Hey man, crazier things have happened, D-Rock. Crazier things have happened. I'm not telling you it's gonna win. I'm just telling you. Listen,
that's like me putting a ticket in on the Mets. I'm not I can't do it.
Wow.
No.
Come on, mate.
People take the piss out of me. Here's Lonte thrown out. These teams that the Padres are going to win all month. Who have they been playing the rest of the season? Have they been playing other Major League Baseball teams? Now, what's the difference?
That's the thing.
They haven't played 130 games against the Dodgers. Not having it, Lonte. I'm not having it. Okay. Underdog Fantasy, however, I'm having that. The Fantasy Pick'em game. It's a great way to get involved in the NFL use your favorite football team. You can pick between 2 and 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on any of their stats, and then have your usual Sunday watch along and win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game. You can win real money. I can tell it's DFS season because I've got the name of a tight end written on my leg. Listening to the DFS show with Sean and Ryan today. So I've currently got Luke Musgrave written on my right thigh. I think he's a tight end for the Packers. So yeah, we're going over on Luke Musgrave. Any props you like there? Watch along, make your picks, and maybe make some cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog, double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And the free roll football contest, season long, $1,000 for first place and $500 for second place. Doubled up, that is, if you remember, of Patreon as well. You get autographed full-size sports gambling podcast helmet. Guests like Joe Theismann, Bill Romanowski, Pac-Man Jones, John Sally, Eric Metcalf, and LeGarrette Blunt. Even I know who he is. Sign up is in the link. The sign up link, is in the SGPN app. And you can join the Patreon at sportsgamblingpodcast.com Patreon to get in for your chance to double your prizes and win the weekly Patreon pick'ems. Okay. Lonte is catching some strays in the chat now as well. We've diverted the chat, Dylan, away from your Catholic schoolboy behaviour on the Lonte. Well played. 6:40 Eastern first pitch is the Seattle Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds. We have Logan Gilbert for Seattle. And, there, his name's appeared now. You were right, Dylan. It is Lyon Richardson. It's a great name, that, for Cincinnati. But I don't see any lines for this one at all. D-Rock, did you have anything?
No, not really. But, I mean, you got to side with the Mariners, I feel like, in this spot. You think they'll be up to maybe around a -160, -165. But they're a good road team, 38-31. I know they've kind of cooled off recently after taking first place, but so have the Rangers. So they're still ahead by a game or two. And I just think they're a much better team. I'm not a fan of Lyon Richardson. And I think Logan Gilbert on the road can take care of business. So I would lean, depending on the number, I would lean with the Mariners here.
Lonte?
Yeah, I handicapped the wrong pitcher. I had somebody else going, so I don't have much for this game at all. But I'm with you. Cincinnati is another team I can't get right. When they're hot, I'm going against them, and they just kill me. And then when they're cold, and I try to fade them, they're win. So I just stay away from their game. So I don't have much on this at all, man.
Yeah, I think Fantasy Pros I used had left Graham Ashcraft up, but he was on the IL with his tool, so I don't know what's gone on there. Lyon Richardson was he traumatized me. We talked about this game the other night. I was chasing my Friday night losses and took the team total over on the Cubs in Cincinnati, both teams in a game that finished 3-2. And it was Lyon Richardson that night. So I feel like he owes me something. But I'm not sure how I'm going to get it back out of him in this situation. Yeah, Gilbert's just been great. 2.32 ERA in his last 5. Say Richardson, I felt like he got lucky. Again, there seemed to be, 5 walks. That was it. He walked everybody. I remember now. I'm having flashbacks. Yeah, he walked everybody, got away with it. I don't think he'll get away with it again. I haven't seen numbers, but his Seattle run line looks like it'll be the place. Cincinnati, I struggle a little bit with them as well, Lonte. Yeah, they've been hard for me to get right. 6:40 Eastern first pitch is the Boston Red Sox at the Tampa Bay Rays. Officially TBD for Boston. I think it's James Paxton. And we have Tyler Glasnow going for Tampa Bay. No lines on this one either. 2 pitchers with the same record, 7 and 5. Paxton is a 4.50 ERA. Struggling, really struggling. 7.71 in his last 5. His last 3 starts, 6, 4, and 6. And that's in over 9 2/3. So he's given up 16 runs in 9 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a 5.57 road ERA. There was just no ticks going in any boxes when I was handicapping Paxton. Glasnow is 3 and 2 with a 2.81 ERA in his last 5. Really good length. Pitched well at Cleveland last time, even though Tampa Bay conspired to lose that 3-2. But it's 2.98 home ERA. It's good enough here. Did pitch against the Red Sox once already this season, 5 1/3, 4 hits and 1 earned run. It's pretty predictable and boring, but it's a Tampa Bay run line, Lund.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I like Tampa here. Glasnow 250 over 68 in the 3rd innings. In his last 11 outings. I mean, he's been really good, been pitching really well. Outside of he had a little hiccup. He was going well in his last start, and then I think it was facing the Twins, if I'm not mistaken. And he gave up like a 2-run bomb, and that kind of somersaulted him. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Paxton. You broke down the numbers. ERA around 4.50 in those 3 games that you highlighted with those 16 earned runs. So I'm going to go with Tampa here. I'll lay it on the run line. I do like the team total to go over also, simply because of what we just discussed with Paxton and how he's been volatile as of late. I trust the Tampa offense at home. I trust them at home. I think they can roll here.
Dylan?
Yeah, I agree with everything. I mean, I can't take Boston right now. I know they won the first game of this series, but Tyler Glasnow has just been fantastic for them. I know gave up 3 runs in his last start against the Guardians, but like you said, he gives them good length, 6-7 innings at least. And James Paxton, I just can't get behind him. 6 runs, and he didn't even get out of the first inning against the Royals. So, yeah, I think this is a good spot. I favored him if it is these 2 pitchers going. I favored the Rays up to a -155. So anything under that, if we get a +130 or better, I'd be with you, man. I'll take the run line as well.
6:40 Eastern first pitch. The LA Dodgers at the Miami Marlins. Lance Lynn for the Dodgers. Remarkably, between the 3 of us, we've handicapped 3 different pitchers for the Marlins, so this is going to be really helpful. Braxton Garrett, Edward Cabrera, Uri Perez. For the Marlins, no lines as a result of all that silliness. Lonte, I mean, I think Braxton Garrett might be going on Thursday now, so I reckon I can put a line through him. I don't know if Cabrera and Perez are going to fight it. Yeah, Braxton Garrett's TBD. Confirmed for Thursday. So, yeah, well, I mean, what have you got here?
Yeah, that's who I handicap Garrett. But, I mean, I'll just give you – I like the Dodgers regardless of the pitcher. I mean, Lance Lynn, he's been solid since he's got to L.A. And, I mean, his advanced metrics, though, don't support the total outcome of what he's been getting. And you saw that come back down to earth versus Atlanta. But then again, you got to kind of separate – like, it's Atlanta, so they're going to do that to whoever, no matter what the metrics say. So, but outside of that, I thought he's pitched really well. And I don't trust Miami offensively. We talked about it, Mal. Every time we see totals under 8, it's always in Miami games.
Yeah.
So I don't think Lance Lynn will have trouble with this lineup at all. I think he'll be fine here. I'll go with maybe a first 5 team total over, depending on who the pitcher is. But I think the Dodgers get off the mat after that tough series with Atlanta, and I think they get it done here on the road, regardless of the pitcher.
Okay, one for the Dodgers, Dylan.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it would be Edwin Cabrera calling them up, but like you guys know, I like to fade pitchers coming back. But before that, he has been really good. I think he was undefeated at home this season. Yeah, 5-0 with a 2.91 ERA. But you're right. I know the advanced metrics does say that Lance Lynn was coming back to earth, but you got to look at it like they did versus the Braves. I don't think he'll have any problems with this Marlin lineup. They did lose 3 of their last 4 to the Braves. Tough series, but I think this gets him right into the win column. So if it is these 2 pitchers, I favored the Dodgers up to a -160. Hopefully we could get plus price on the run line for the Dodgers, and I'd happily take that.
Well, I wanted to take Miami here when I handicapped Garrett.
I did too.
Yeah, I didn't want anything to do with Lynn. His last 2 starts have been poor, and the 6 innings and 3 innings out to Garrett would be good enough. I'm just saying if and want to change my mind now. I know Cabrera's going to go. Definitely, I still don't want anything to do with Lance Lynn. And I mean, Cabrera's been all right. He's been serviceable. Like he has had a little break. What, the 13th of June was the last time we saw him? No, that's not true at all. The 31st of July was the last time we saw him. He'd had a couple of shorts on. Yeah, I'll stick to my guns here. I think Lynn is beatable. And Cabrera, the fact that he's kind of sporadically been up and down all season. He's kind of stayed off the Dodgers' radar as well. He hasn't faced the Dodgers yet. So I'll give Cabrera a chance here. We need a dog on the card, so Miami can get some runs off Lance Lynn.
I got to root for Lynn for my Padres futures, man. So I'm rooting for Lance Lynn.
How many futures do you have, mate?
No. I'm saying I'm rooting for. Remember, I just was talking about the Dodgers. I mean, I was just talking about the Padres.
Yeah.
So Miami's in front of them, so I need Miami to lose.
Oh, okay. No, I feel that.
Yeah, but I do got a bunch of futures though.
Did you hear Dylan casually slip in the mate there as well?
Oh, every time.
Definitely been spending too much time together, Dylan. I'm wearing these out, son. 7:05 Eastern first pitch is the Detroit Tigers at the New York Yankees. We have Matt Manning for Detroit and Clark Schmidt for the Pinstripes. Plus 140 on Detroit, minus 166 on New York, and the total is set at 8.5. Matt Manning 5-4, 3.62 ERA. Really good lately, really good. 2-1, 2.15 ERA in his last 5. 3.57 on the road is serviceable. He's beaten the Yankees and Houston, Cleveland and Boston in his last 4 starts. So that got a bosh. Clark Schmidt, 8-8, 4.56 ERA. Is actually been okay. I still don't really trust him. And because there hasn't been a game played between these two since I sat here and argued with Lonte and Scott last night, I've really got no choice but to make the same argument, which is that the Yankees were a bad team that we weren't interested in last week. Yes, they called up the kids. They got a little bump from it, but I stand by the law of diminishing returns here. I've took Detroit to win the Tuesday game at plus 200, and I'm going to take them to win the Wednesday game at plus 140. And as we like to say, Lonte, they'll win one of them, and we get some profit. So that'll do me. What have you got?
Yeah, so you picked the wrong day to back them. You want to back Detroit tomorrow, and not tonight against Garrett Cole. Because
both, man.
The Garrett Cole's going to destroy them. Have you seen his numbers versus Detroit? Oh my God!
We'll bet that imaginary shirt, the mythical shirt, is back.
When D-Rod gives his handicap, after he's done, I'll read you off Garrett Cole's numbers against Detroit.
Okay.
But I like Matt Manning here. He threw 6 scoreless in the last meeting versus the Yankees. He got a no decision. I mean, he got a no decision after the bullpen blew a 3-0 lead. So that's not on him. He pitched really good. He's had 3 straight quality starts, has allowed 1 or no runs in 4 straight games. His ERA is 0.38, whip 0.68. And this was against solid offenses. Houston, Boston was mixed in with the Yankees in those last 4 games. So I like Matt Manning here. I like him to win the game outright. I like him in the first 5. A little bit more on the first 5 because as you just heard from the handicap, he pitched well and then the bullpen blew it. So you kind of want to put more stake on him in that first 5 versus going full game. So I'll go a full unit first 5, half unit full game.
Dylan?
I know this is going to probably be an unattractive bet, but I kind of like the over 8.5. My total came out to a 9.1. The market is moving. I see 9s out there at even money right now. So I'm going to take a shot on the over. I don't want to lay minus 166 with the Yankees. I only made them a minus 150 favorite. So if we do get 10 more cents, I'd probably be on the side of Mal taking them, or both of you guys taking the Tigers. But, I know they turned some things around, but I think we'll actually see some runs. The Yankees, they've scored 6 runs 3 times out of the last 5 games. Tigers, they've been able to score runs as well. They just put up 10 runs against the White Sox the other night. So I think we'll actually see a higher scoring game. I'll take a flyer on the over.
I saw some stuff on Kerry Carpenter, the Detroit hitter, earlier on today, and the most American sort of midtown, he was almost like a Disney character. Nothing really. It was just the way he said it. It was just like a clean cut. So, like I say, it was like something out of a Disney movie or like a Nickelodeon film. He was just like cheesy, like the nicest kid in the world, but almost to the point that he was annoyingly nice. But yeah, really, none of this Catholic sexually oppressed behavior, Dylan, that you present. This kid was just absolutely, he was just, like I say, a cardboard postcard cutout sort of kid. But yeah, quite easy to root for as well. So.
Yeah. You ready for the stat of the day, Mal?
Oh yeah, hit me, come on.
Look, Garrett Cole, 9.72 Ks per 9. That's just one. So the Tigers are striking out 29.5% rate over the last 2 weeks. They've got 80 plate appearances versus the current. He's got 80 plate appearances against the current lineup for Detroit, and he has a 35% strikeout percentage. 35. It's no way these guys are going to score on Cole tonight, man. And I want to shout out Muna for that stat. He sent that to me, so I don't want him to hear this and then try to get me for copyright.
His prop is at 7.5, so we're hammering the over.
Ladder it, D-Rock. 10 Ks tonight. 10 Ks tonight, D-Rock.
Oh, these boys are
10 Ks tonight.
Okay,
that's all well and good, but Detroit is still going to win 3-2. With the Kerry Carpenter home run, mind you.
If you said Torkelson, you might have got me. Torkelson's good.
That's your new favorite player, Mal.
I liked him a lot. Yeah, he was in my image, very clean, cut and wholesome young man.
Most Americans are.
Correct, Dylan. Yeah. 7:20. We'll move on. St. Louis Cardinals at the Atlanta Braves. Dakota Hudson for St. Louis and Spencer Strider for Atlanta. Plus 230 on the Cards. Minus 285 on Atlanta with a total of 9, Dylan.
Yeah, it's hard to find any true value in this game when the Braves are over a $3 favorite. But I feel like they're begging us to take the Cardinals. But I need at least a plus 290. I made the Braves a 290 favorite. The Braves they're flat out the best team in the major leagues right now. They just took 3 or 4 from the Dodgers. I feel like the only real threat in the NL for them. And I think they'll continue to roll here at home against the Cardinals, who they're just terrible on the road. And I'm not a fan of Dakota Hudson at all. He doesn't pitch well on the road. Maybe look for a K prop for Strider. He's had 9 or more strikeouts in 4 of his last 6 games in the month of August. But depending on the Braves team total, anything at a 5 or below that, I'll probably look towards their team total over, or I like Spencer's K prop. That's really how I'd play this game.
Yeah, I would defy anyone to try and be clever and handicap this a different way. Lonte, how did you do it?
I got nothing. What can you say? Strider, there's no way I'm laying that much. I don't care who's on the mound. I'm not laying that price with them. But like D-Rock said, team total over. Although Hudson, he hasn't been as bad. But again, I'm not picking him to go in and beat Atlanta. So it's not much, man. I would go with a team total or nothing.
Yeah. The run line's minus 142. You could kind of go. You could take an alt run line if you wanted. Go 2.5. That's kind of. But yeah, Captain Sano's looking at the strikeout prop. Maybe 9.5. He reckons possibly. But that's a lot to get to. It's a big ass to get up there. But he's obviously
he get in that zone. It's over.
Yeah, definitely.
He's so young too.
Yeah.
7:40.
Sounded bad.
Oh yeah, spot the Catholic again. 7:40 Eastern first pitch is the Chicago White Sox at the Kansas City Royals. 2-2 Sun for the White Sox and Jordan Lyles. It's Jordan Lyles Day for the Kansas City Royals. Total is at 9.5 and minus 108 for the White Sox and minus 112 for Kansas City. So, Tiki Toussaint, 2-7, with a 4.87 ERA. He did okay against Detroit last time. 5 hits and 3 earned runs and 5 1/3. Doesn't get much run support. Jordan Lyles pitched 8 innings last time. He only gave up 2 against Boston. He's gone 8 innings 3 times in his last 5 starts. Now, I wrote down, because I hadn't seen any lines yet, I'm going to take the team that's the bigger price because there was nothing to split them. However, so I must be kind of right because they're the same price. The bookies can't split them either, which tells me I'm kind of doing something right. So I have managed to find, I think I like the Jordan Lyles outs. So I don't know. I mean, what will the line be set? It's 17.5, maybe, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes, about
and they just leave him out there because it doesn't matter if they're getting shellacked or otherwise. They just leave him out there to get on with it. He's gone 8. Yeah, he's gone 8 3 times recently. There's a little wobbly 3 inning start in there at Seattle. In fact, the 2 Seattle starts. But yeah, I just think he could get it. It won't be 17.5, actually. I think it'll be lower. Yeah, they'll just leave him out there. He'll get on with it because the White Sox won't cause him any problems. So he'll just get along. He'll give up 4 earned runs and they'll take him out in the 7th and we win. And that's what's going to happen, Lonte.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over in the matchup. I think both offenses could. I don't trust either offense, but I mean, against this pitching, I don't think we have a choice here. I kind of like Toussaint. I'm going to go with the White Sox in the first 5 on the money line. If it's anything plus money or reduced, I'll go with that. But overall, I think we can see, like you said, Mal, there's always high scoring games when they play each other. We saw one last night. I forgot what the score was, but like Kansas City got killed. I mean, Kansas City killed them. So I think we're going to go over here. We'll go Chicago first 5 just for a pick on the side.
That was our cool Raggins pick, wasn't it? Was that the night before? Yeah, he was in our little 130 trifecta of pitchers who won, right. Pablo Lopez and Justin Steele. Yeah. Dylan?
Yeah, I'm going to go real ugly here. I'm going to take the Royals at home. I actually made them.
That's not ugly, D-Rock. That's not ugly, man. That's a good bet. I bet Mal laughed at me because I took -1.5 at +150 for my dog a couple of nights ago.
Oh my God! It hit right last night.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was 2 days. It was 2 days.
12-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a boy, but yeah, I mean, I made him a -120 favorite. I'll take a -112. It's crazy to say, but I honestly feel like the Royals have the better bats in this series. You know, they just, like you guys said, they just put up 12 runs on them yesterday. They put up 13 the other day at home against the Red Sox, and the White Sox have yet to score over 2 runs in the past 4 games. So I know it's Jordan Lyles' day, but I'm just going to bank that he does get the run support. I do agree with you, Mal, that they will keep him out there 6-7 innings, but I'm going to take the Royals at home. I think they're the better team right now.
Okay. The penultimate game this evening is the 8:05 Eastern first pitch between the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers. Old boys fight it out. Justin Verlander for Houston and Max Scherzer for Texas. +100 even money Houston, -120. The Rangers are favourites, and the line is at 8.5. Lonte?
Yeah, it's a tough game for me, man. I like both pitchers. But I'm kind of concerned with Scherzer. He left the I forgot what game it was. It was his last start. I don't remember who they were playing, but he left the game with some, forearm tightness. So I'm not sure how that'll affect him here. All reports are saying that he's fine. Since joining the Rangers, he's 2.21 ERA in 6 starts. So he's been going pretty well. Verlander dominant against Boston and Detroit, but he did struggle against the Yankees. 6 runs allowed, 4 home runs. His contact is up a little bit. I think D-Rock, if you got those numbers, I'd love to hear him. His contact has been up a little bit, but again, I don't trust Texas's bullpen. That's their biggest problem. I just can't trust it. So I'm going to go with Houston here. I don't know how long Scherzer's going to go or if that forearm's going to give him problems. So I'm going to go with Houston here at plus money. I think they'll win, 5-3, 6-4, something in that ballpark.
Dylan.
Yeah, real quick, the hard hit rate. What do you want to know? Which game? So last game was just the last 3. What does he got the last 3? 25% against Minnesota at home, on the road against Minnesota 34.3, and then at home against Milwaukee 20%.
What about the Boston? Not Boston and Detroit. What about the Yankees? I know that's been up.
Yankees. When was the last time he played the Yankees?
Verlander.
Oh, this is Verlander.
Yeah, Verlander.
I my fault. I looked up Scherzer for you.
Yeah, Verlander. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I got it right in front of me. This computer. What are you gonna do, right? All right, last 3 games. Last game, 44.9 against Detroit on the road, 40%, and then at home against Boston, 27%.
Yeah, okay.
So it has been high. Yeah. Yeah, for me, this is going to be the best series, I think, of honestly the early of the week. You know, the Rangers, they just can't seem to get out of their own way. They lost 4 of their last 5 games. And like Lonte said, their bullpen's been a real concern, not just recently, but the whole year it's been shaky for them. And against a team like the Astros, who, you know, both fighting for the division, you just can't afford to be shaky against them. They'll make you pay. But I'm going to take the Rangers here. I did make them a minus 130 favorite. And what do you know? Scherzer, 2 ex-Mets going at it. You love to see it. But I actually think Scherzer's been pitching better than Verlander recently. Oddly enough, Verlander can't beat the Yankees this season. And then Scherzer has given the Rangers 6-7 innings, at least in every start, where he's only given up 2 to 3 runs. But even when he gives up a little more runs, their lineup is good enough where they could come back in most games. So I just read you the hard hit rates. Verlander has been getting touched up more than Scherzer. So when he is on the mound, I think it gives him the best chance to win. I agree. I think if it's a 1-2 run game and it gets into the bullpen, I think it does get a little shaky, but I think the Rangers bounce back here. So give me the Rangers at home.
No, I can't have it. I just tried to find a tiebreaker here because there's nothing really between Verlander and Scherzer. And I just looked at that last game as a comp. So Scherzer pitches 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. Absolutely outstanding. Texas lose 5-1. That's this game. That's what's going to happen. If they both go well, and Texas will get beat because Houston are a better team. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward for me. Houston, and at the prices, I absolutely love it. I'm with Lonte. I'll take Houston at even money. Finally, we get to the Baltimore Orioles at the LA Angels, which is a 9:38 Eastern first pitch. Kyle Gibson for Baltimore, left-handed pitcher. Patrick Sandoval goes for the LA Angels. Minus 130 for Baltimore, plus 110 on the Angels. Total is at 8.5, Dylan.
Yeah, real quick. Getting into Catholic school, very easy, I would say. Just take a test. They'll let anybody in the fucking school. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, very easy. For this game, give me the over 8.5. I actually made my total 9.6. Actually, a whole point higher. We've actually seen a lot of high scoring games for Kyle Gibson lately. 4 of his 5 starts in the month of August have gone over this number. He's also allowed 3 or more runs in his last 5 starts as well. Both teams have been involved in a lot of overs. Both Orioles and the Angels have gone over this number in 4 of their last 5 games. And with Patrick Sandoval going for the Angels, he's not really someone I want to back either. I don't have a lot of confidence in him. He just doesn't give up 5 runs to the A's in 3 innings in his last starts. We also have winds blowing out. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Give me the over.
Lonte?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep fading the Angels, man. I mean, Baltimore run line, team total to go over. I agree with the over with you, D-Rock. I mean, I don't got much. You can't back the Angels. I mean, now is Shohei done, right? He's done for the rest of the year.
I think they shut him down.
Yeah, so
they took him out of the lineup yesterday. I don't know if they shut him down completely, but I mean, it's heading that way, isn't it?
I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter. They're gonna get blasted. Yeah. So that's all I have. They're gonna get blasted.
Are they actually trying anymore?
No, they're not. They're not
trying something. I don't know what they're trying. It's a proper clown show.
Right. Like, that's it.
I can't believe we sat here in it. Well, I shouldn't say we when I mean I sat here in like March and made a case for the Angels, and I've done it like 3 years fucking running. Oh, I think they'll be all right. I think they've had a basic absolute shit show. I'm not doing that ever again. If you catch me doing that next year, you have my permission. To just put me in a boat, push me out to sea or something, because it's absolute bollocks. So my scientific handicap, this is Baltimore. Gibson gives up loads of runs. Sandoval gives up loads of runs. So the answer his runs over 8.5. I mean, that was it. Just dead straightforward. Isn't it? Yeah, easy game, Dylan. It's like they want us to win. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we made it to the end of the show. So, Dylan, are you going to lead us off with a lock and a dog?
Yeah, I'll start with my lock actually this time. Give me the Cubs. I think they keep it rolling here with Jordan Wicks on the mound. I know a small sample size in his 2 starts, but I do think he'll go. I do like the way Malcolm when he did go 5 innings, the first 5, because that's probably only Jordan Wicks will go through the 5 innings. But I can't back Tristan Beck in this spot. Spot starter. Don't trust the bats of the Giants. They're not doing good right now. So give me the Cubs on the money line to keep it rolling. I didn't give too many plus money plays out today, but is the Blue Jays on the run line still plus money? If you guys see that.
Let's see.
If they are, I'll take them on the run line, but I think it's at plus 105. But I'm gonna take Hyun-Jin Ryu. I think he's looked really good since coming back. I think this is a really good spot for him. And against JP Sears, who I know Mal, you were on him a little bit, but not anymore. Yeah. He just hasn't been good anymore. So I just think this is another bad spot for the A's. So I think the Blue Jays win here by 2 or more runs. I'll take the Blue Jays as my dog.
Yeah, plus 105 is still there.
I concur with your plus 105, Dylan. Lonte, what do you have?
Yep, I'm betting that right now, actually. For my lock, I'm gonna go with the game of the week and the series of the week, like D-Rock said. I'm gonna go with Verlander. So don't worry about giving the plus money dogs out, D-Rock. I got 2 of them for you right here. We're gonna go with Verlander and Houston. I just don't trust that bullpen. I mean, Scherzer is fine, but how well will he pitch with that forearm soreness? It's always a thing when the forearm gets a little bit sore. So I'm wondering how he'll fare with that against his Houston lineup. So I do like Houston to win at the plus money. For my dog, Mal, I'm going to go with something that you should have went with today and not yesterday. I'm going to go with Detroit, Matt Manning, plus 140.
Okay. I told you they're going to win both, man. It's fine. Right. My lock here is the most boring lock. However, do you know why it's called a lock? Because it's a fucking lock. It's Atlanta on the run line at minus 142. That's what the word means. I mean, they're just giving you that money. Like I'll take worse bets than that. Most nights, like minus 142. That's preposterous. That is like finding money in the street. For my dog, I haven't got the lines, but it will be a plus. I'm guessing plus 130 here, and I'm very sure it's Miami to beat the Dodgers and Lance Lynn. He's just all over the place. And if it is Cabrera, I think he can do it. So I'll take Miami. And with that will be plus money, we think, boys? Yeah?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Even though it is Lance Lynn, but it's also the Dodgers, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Still, it's still with me.
Cool. I will take that. Then done. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Lonte. That was fun. Dylan, what's happening the rest of the night?
Just gearing up 2 more days to the start of the NFL season. About to go get some Mexican food and just enjoy my night.
What's the first game? What's the game tomorrow?
Chiefs and Lions.
Oh, is it that one? Oh,
yeah. Get our team ready. I want 10%.
Oh, yeah. That's what I need. I'm going to spend a couple of hours now setting lineups. And I think waivers run actually in a couple of my leagues. So I just need to check. There isn't any, what's the name of this bloke written on my leg? Luke Musgrave. I need to go and find him. See if he's on waivers. Lonte, what you up to?
Yeah, not much, man. Just sharpening up the numbers. Got some college football stuff working on. And yeah, looking forward to NFL this season, man. Looking forward to it. Munaf gave me a little promotion, man. He told me I could host with him on the NFL podcast.
Oh, nice.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that.
Are you a Carolina fan since you're down there?
No, I root for him though. I'm a Giants fan. So,
man.
My mom is from New York. We spent some time in New York, New Jersey. So yeah, Giants is my team. My grandfather always Giants and Yankees was my grandfather's team before he passed. So that's what I was introduced to, and I've been stuck with it since.
Dylan's Jets. Man. So does that make you 2 rivals then?
Yeah, they're wannabes. It's all good.
It definitely got the better quarterback. I can tell you that.
He supports the Jets and the Mets, Lonte. Fucking hell, you do have
and the Knicks. And the
yes.
Knicks.
Yeah, see, I didn't get cursed with the Knicks. My grandfather liked the Bulls, so I didn't get a chance. I was watching Mike when I was obviously young. I didn't get a chance to watch him when I could form my own opinion. But Kobe was the closest to it, so I just naturally flirted with the Lakers, and so I'm a Lakers fan.
Mal, who do you like in basketball?
Basketball.
Or
I
don't have a basketball team.
I like Carolina.
Carolina, nice.
Yeah,
Carolina. I'm gonna think of their Carolina. I don't know what their name is.
Tar Heels, Mal. Tar Heels. You're a Tar Heel fan.
Who?
Man. Carolina Tar Heels. Where Michael Jordan went to school at?
University. This is college.
University of North Carolina.
Oh, right. Oh, well, fuck. I got no chance. And absolutely no chance. No.
Who do you like in college, D-Rock?
For basketball, I'm biased. I root for Villanova. My sister went there, so I went to a bunch of when Jay Wright was there. So I like them, but I also root for Ohio State. But biased.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
There you go. Good talk. I bet that was riveting for all the listeners, wasn't it? The last couple of minutes. Cheers, boys.
Right,
we'll be back tomorrow. Moonaf saved himself the 6-game slate for tomorrow night. So he can stick another 8 minutes of work.
What a hard worker Moonaf is.
Unbelievable. Big and Lonte knock out 45 games in 3 days. Right, cheers everyone. Good luck with your bets tonight and tomorrow. Moonaf's back with someone. I'm back on Thursday. Until then, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.